Hey everyone, I'm Godly Polo back with some more League things. Today I'm just going to do a little bit of like a tip video I guess for newer players, because a lot of people ask me how I kite and how I like attack things without clicking on it, and just give them basic tips for clearing their jungle. This will work next season too. I know camps are getting faster, but it doesn't really change much for Kindred because your W is a 50% movement speed slow, so as long as you're kiting properly it doesn't change too much next season. You will take a little bit more damage next season though, considering you also don't have the machete passive next season, so you'll take more damage, but it'll still work pretty much the same way. Now, tips before we get into this: there's two key bindings I recommend having before you like do anything or you play jungle. For one, I recommend having a player attack move key, which makes it so you can attack anything that's near you, and that stuff is very useful. What that means is, obviously, like when you see me attack this red buff right here, I'll show you an instance. It means that I don't have to click on it, it will just attack whatever's closest to me, and that's pretty much how that works. A lot of people ask me always about that key binding, and that's pretty much it right there. Is you just have to have a player attack move key. To find attack move, you just open up your key bindings, like go to your hotkeys and scroll down to where it says player movement, right here, and then just player attack move. I do shift mouse button 2 because obviously mouse button 2 then shift, you can kind of alternate it very simply while kiting. It's not very hard. You'll know you're doing it right if your click is a different color, like how it's red here instead of green. That means I'm using attack move. The other key binding I recommend doing is going into your hotkeys and abilities and summoner keys and scrolling down to the bottom and finding target champions only. This is very useful because if I hold shift 1, you see the center of my mouse turns red, and now I can't click on this camp, I can run through it, which makes it really easy when you're running away from people in the jungle or trying to dive and stuff to click on the champion and not that. And you can also kind of hide in the camp and then click on the camp. It's very useful. It's a very useful thing when you're running away and stuff. But anywho, let's get into the actual kiting. So kiting, you always want to start W because your W does 50% more damage to monsters, which is really nice, but it also slows the camp by 50% when it hits them. That's a very big, especially for next season when camps are faster. This slow helps a lot when kiting. To kite red buff solo, obviously I will take more damage here because I don't have a leash compared to obviously most games you're going to have a leash for your first camp, so don't expect this to be perfect, but you know. So for that, you just attack red buff, you use your W, you let it slow it, you start pulling it around. Once like it gets up to you, you kind of just pull it around, you pull it to the edge of its aggro, and then obviously you just keep doing that. And you're going to take a little bit of damage, but you just want to walk around mostly with it, because the more you walk it around, the more you wind up getting your heals from your W, and the heals from your W obviously make it so it's not nearly as bad. So it's very easy to do that. Krugs are relatively the same too. You just want to attack the Krugs, and once you attack the Krugs, you want to start pulling it back, and as soon as you get towards the edge, you just want to like reverse and just go back towards the other way. I like to kind of get them both kind of low and then start killing the little Krug while the big Krug's really far behind, because the little Krug is obviously the one who still has its full movement speed, so it's going to do the full damage to you because it's going to keeping up with you because they're relatively quicker than you anyways. And that's pretty much how I do Krugs. You don't take much damage. We're going to skip raptors here. A lot of people don't like to kill raptors on their first clear anyways, because they take up a lot of health too. They're time consuming and you don't have the most damage for them. You don't have the best AoE for them. So we're going to skip raptors for the time being, and we're going to go head to blue. Blue buff is really easy. It's the easiest camp to kite. You will take like almost no damage and you'll pretty much always be full health. For blue buff, all you do is you pull it out right here, and then you use your W around this area and you start pulling it around this wall. Once it has like 3 aggro bars, you queue back over the wall, and because Wolf's over there, you'll keep vision of it and it doesn't keep up with you or hit you at all. So you can kill blue buff, as you see right there, without taking a single hit from it, and you take just no damage at all from it. It's very useful. Gromp is relatively the same. You just kind of come up to it, hit it. I walk up to it that far because I want my Q to hit it, but then you just kind of jump it around, and then you try to make it spend more time walking than you do have it attacking you. That's why you like pull it towards the edge of its aggro there, because if it's walking, it can't auto attack you and you don't take too much damage from Gromp, but it does have those empowered auto attacks for the first 2 autos that hurt. For wolves are relatively simple. What I like to do is I like to attack them, use my W on that side of the wall so I keep vision, then Q over the wall until my Q comes back up, then we kite them towards this side. And wolves, you just use the walls to your advantage, because the big wolf slowed so much and it body blocks the little wolves. And you see, it didn't use any potions there and didn't take much damage. Last thing now is I'll show you how to do raptors if you want to do them on first clear, but I'm like raptors, you take a lot of damage because you can't really outrun all the little raptors. What I like to do though for them is I like to stand back, I like to attack one, use WQ on it, then start pulling it around. Try to like single out the little raptors. You take more damage from the little raptors than you do the large one. So you try to single out the little ones. You can kite it better than I did there, but you just try to single out the little ones, get rid of them ASAP. And then obviously you still have smite here, so you can just smite it, stay full health, or you would have probably gone to a scuttle crab at this point for your mark. But just for the sake of that, just showing you that. And the blue buff trick, this is probably the main thing that I'll show you again. The blue buff trick works the same on both sides too, in case you're curious. All you have to do for the top side blue is you just come over here, you use your W, you know, you just start kiting it around the wall. Don't lose vision of it in a bush like I did there. You can Q back over the wall, it won't do anything to you. It's very, very simple to just kill blue buff without really taking any damage from it, so that's all you have to do for that. Scuttle crabs, I hope nobody needs help knowing how to kill a scuttle crab, you just attack it. But yeah, that's really all kiting is you can do the same thing on each side of the map. Gromp, you just, like I said, you pull it out, it gets close to you, you go back through the other side, try to keep it from autoing you as little as possible, and then boom, you're pretty much good. That's all you have to do, that's all the key bindings and stuff. I don't really have much else of a tip for kiting. That's just how I do it. That's my basics to it. If it helps you guys, I'm glad. If not, well, sorry. I don't expect this to be perfect, but people just ask me how I do it, and that's how I do it and my thought process behind it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. Have a good day. If you want, I guess, if you want any other tips or anything, let me know down below, and I will do other maybe little tip videos or maybe a full thing. Who knows? Yeah, have a good day, everybody, and goodbye.